Some large U.S. companies are promising their employees bonuses after the president signs the tax bill into law. AT&T says it'll give 200,000 of its employees $1,000 each. Comcast also promises $1,000 to more than 100,000 workers. And Boeing plans to allocate an extra $300 million for job training, facility upgrades, and charitable giving.
A few hours after their White House celebration, congressional Republicans released a new plan to prevent a government shutdown. Money will run out at midnight tomorrow if Congress cannot make this deal. The GOP plan would keep the government going for another 4 weeks through January 19th. It would pay for the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP as it's called, until March 31st, and extend authorization of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that's known as FISA. House Democratic leaders say they will not support the plan unless it also gives legal status to so-called dreamers. They are people brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
Dan Senor is a Republican strategist and former advisor to House Speaker Paul Ryan. He was also senior advisor to the Romney-Ryan presidential campaign. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
So we saw essentially yesterday, after the Democrats called the president's tax plan and the Republicans' tax plan sort of a fantasy, we saw all these companies come out and say, well, we are going to give people money.
Right.
We are going to do more hiring. Will they actually follow through on those promises?
Well, I think that the news you saw overnight with these companies announcing these end-of-year bonuses, it's a little bit of, it's kind of some gimmicks here. I mean, I don't think we should overstate the significance. It's good, it's positive, but it's not. We shouldn't overstate the significance. The real question is, will a large chunk of the country receive some kind of tax relief, A, and B, will companies really start investing in the growth of their companies, capital infrastructure, hiring more people? We will know that very quickly.
Really?
So everyone's making these projections, the deficit's going to blow out of control. And too many people are going to get a tax cut. Not enough people are going to get a tax cut. You're seeing all these estimates from these different, independent, projectors. We're going to know pretty quickly in early 2018 on withholding. People when they get their paychecks, they're going to either get a tax cut that they're going to see right then and there, January, February, March, or not. Well, we're going to see companies making decisions pretty quickly. Yeah.
Your old boss told us yesterday that the polls show that this is a very unpopular bill. But he said as soon as people start getting the checks you're talking about, that their opinions will change.
Right, which is exactly what happened with the Bush tax cuts in 2002.
Yeah.
They front-loaded the relief, and that actually helped Republicans when they were heading into the 2002 elections.
Right.
The bill is also unpopular, though, I believe, because the President of the United States did not, in a sustained way, despite all the hoopla yesterday, he did not make the case for this bill. It is very rare for a major domestic policy initiative to gain public support if you don't have the President of the United States out there delivering speeches, holding town hall meetings, giving addresses from the Oval Office. It's what President Obama did with Obamacare. It's what President Reagan did with the '86 Tax Reform Act. I mean, you need the White House out there. That was missing from this.
So does that come back to hurt them at
yeah, I
midterms?
think congressional Republicans have a lot of work to do over the next year explaining this bill, because I don't think most people understand it. They will see potentially the benefits if the benefits are real, but it's going to take some work explaining it, putting it in
context. Well, they sure gave him a lot of credit yesterday, Dan, on the White House lawn. But what did the Republicans get right this time, do you think?
Well, look, they, unlike health care reform, where they agreed on repeal, but there wasn't a consensus about what to replace Obamacare with. In this case, there was real agreement going back years and years and years on many of the provisions in this tax reform bill, particularly the corporate tax rate cut. So Republicans, there wasn't a lot of infighting over the substance of this one, A. And B, I think Republicans got spooked by their fight over Obamacare. And they realized, wait a minute, we've got proximity to a midterm now. We're less than a year, about a year before the midterm elections. And we don't have anything to show for our time governing with this Republican, unified Republican government. We need something to show. We didn't have anything to show before. And I also think McConnell and Ryan did a good job of getting all the different factions on board beforehand, which was a mistake they made with the Obamacare fight. They didn't have them on board beforehand.
All right, Dan Senor, thank you.
Good to be with you guys.
Have a good Christmas. 4 days and counting.
All right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.